everybody, it's Micheline from Micheline Makes again. This vlog is going to be full of lots of little snippets because I've taken spits and spots and since over the summer and I haven't really got round to uploading them. So it's going to be a spit spot type of vlog with a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of me talking, a little bit of something else. I don't at this point in time know what I've saved. I've got to go through my photo album where I've filmed things and see if I can find what there is. But basically, I thought you might be interested to see some of the things that I've done. And what else do I want to tell you? Oh, I mentioned in the last vlog that his lordship, when I was going to say, do you want to decorate? And he said he can't get his head right. He said, my head's not right at the moment. The reason being, not that he's having any problems with his head, it's simply the fact that since his mother has gone into the home, because she is partially funding and the social services pay some of the money for her, he has to fill in a ton of forms. He's been doing them for ages and he keeps thinking, right, that's it, I've done that. And then they'll write back and say, well, we need this, we need that, we need the other. And one of the biggest problems he has is she has a flat. And basically what they're going to do is if she's there long enough and she used up all her savings, then she has to pay out of her sale of her flat. And so they need to have proof that she owns, proof that she's got the flat insured, which he struggled to get the insurance company to send to him. He has power of attorney, but they will refuse to send it to him. So in the end, he said, look, send it to her flat and I'll pick it up from there. Then he has to prove that he has power of attorney, and he found the documents that said he has power of attorney, but they won't accept those because apparently the photocopies. So he's now got to find out where the originals are, and he's just tearing his hair out. He keeps thinking, right, that's it, that's resolved, something's done, and then he gets an email or a phone message saying, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. He had to send his driver's license, proof that he's who he is. He had to have it verified. He had to have it verified by a police officer who he doesn't know, a doctor that he never goes to see very often, or a solicitor who he's never been to see, or I can't remember who else. But basically to verify that he is who he is. And he said, well, I don't know any of those three. But fortunately, my daughter-in-law is a solicitor. So we then messaged up to her and said, could you, if we send you his passport, his driving license up, could you verify that he is who he is? And then, so she did that and then she forwarded it on. So that was another tick box. But there just seems to be forever, loads and loads of things he has to do just simply because she's gone into a home. Apparently, update on mother. I haven't seen her for a couple of weeks because I've had my grandson here last weekend and I couldn't see her. And I can't see her today because he's going to be coming back with his granddaughters who are coming up for the weekend this time. But and he needs a car. He needs to fill the car. So anyway, I haven't seen her for 2 weeks, but apparently she's starting to sleep a lot. She sleeps throughout the morning. Sometimes doesn't get up until lunchtime. And I know that is par for the course, that they start sleeping more. Don't know, when we do see her, when I saw her 2 weeks ago, she was in good spirits. She knew who we were. She still hadn't forgotten us, but she kept calling her partner. She kept calling her partner by his lordship's brother's name. So it's possible that she's forgotten what his name is. He regularly picks her up and takes her places, or he did. But as I say, at the moment, when he goes to get her and tell him she's in bed, he doesn't pick her up then. And normally he would have said, well, can't you wake her up? Wake her up and get her ready. But they said, no, we let them sleep because obviously it's the illness that she's got. And when he mentioned it to his lordship last night, he said, well, she's always sleeping. And his lordship had to say, look, that's part of the illness. Towards the end, they start sleeping a lot more. Not necessarily towards the end, but, which she may have another year or more in her, I don't know. But anyway, they do start sleeping more, and he can't get his head around that. He can't understand why they don't just wake her up and get her ready. So he's not a person that can can take things well. Anyway, so he has gone, his lordship has gone down to see his mother today, and he's going to pick his grandkids up from school and bring them back, and might bring his daughter in the car, which is why I couldn't go down, because there wouldn't be enough room in the car. So I have a day to myself, and I might pop into, not so much town, but pop to the range. Oh, I want to show you something. Hang on. I'm showing you this blanket because this is I've had it a few years. It's a fluffy blanket. The kids love it. They love wrapping themselves up in it. And I actually got given this by my daughter. Every morning or every time when her kids get up, they like to wrap themselves up in the fluffy blanket. And it's quite handy in the winter months for keeping you warm. But, and basically that is made from recycled polyester and plastics, I think. Even though it's fluffy, it's recycled polyester. It's got a lovely feel to it, but this is getting it's a bit old. But I have just bought another one. Dunelm have these, and this is now the fashion. This is, it doesn't show very well, but this is a lovely mustardy colour. And there, that's a bit better. It's a mustardy colour. It's lovely and soft. It's like a really soft teddy bear fabric. And I saw that they were selling them, and I thought, right, I'm going to get one. So I've got one for his lordship and one for me. And the nice thing about it is it's really, really warm. So the other day I'll turn this around now and talk to you. So I got this blanket out, and it's really big. I mean, this is folded in half. It's actually very, very big. And you could wrap yourself around in it like this, sitting watching TV. But all I did was I had it folded in half, and I had it wrapped over me. And believe me, I had it from about there, sat in my chair, and within about 45 minutes, I was boiling. And I said to him, I said, this is going to be great for the winter. And and I think it was only about 10 or 12 pounds. So I highly recommend that you treat yourself to one of these beautiful, beautiful, soft, furry blankets. They're also turning out, I got this from Dunelm, as I've just said. They are also selling furry dressing gowns and furry, what else was there? There was something else, the furry blankets, furry dressing gowns, and furry, I can't remember what the other thing is, but well worth getting them now before they sell out. I'm sure they probably won't sell out, but they are a really good buy to keep you warm in the winter. That's my two blankets that I like to use. And as I say, for Christmas, last Christmas, I bought each of the grandchildren one of those blankets as a Christmas present. And I can't believe how much they all love them. They like to sit with them over them when they're sitting watching TV. They like to sit with them on their beds. They love using them, keeping them, if they come out of the bath and they want to wrap themselves up, they wrap themselves up in the blankets. I can promise you that when the grandkids come this weekend, they will be wrapped up in that one there or the red one. So, a goodbye. here's a little snippet for you. Now, earlier on, he said to me, when we're 80... Go on, you say.
No, I thought you were going to do the lights. But you
The lights?
No, we just did that.
Oh, no. He said, when we're 80, he said, well, what did you say? He said...
I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. Have you met Micheline?
Hi.
What did I say? No, I said that when we're 80, we ought to start making a vlog called Life in the 80s, because I think it's going to be quite hilarious, because she'll never be remembering anything, and I'll be forgetting everything. So just now, we were coming through some temporary traffic lights. There's some building works going on just up the road there. And the other day, we come along and we stopped there, and the lights were on red, and the traffic at the other end were also stood still, lights on red, right? So in the end, after about 4 minutes, I thought, right, we'll drive down. So I drove down the other end, and I slowed down, and I said to the chap in the car waiting, I said, I think the lights are jammed. And he wasn't best happy because I'd nipped down. He'd been there for a while. But he said, I think they are. Yeah. Anyway, so we've just been out shopping, and I'm driving back, and I tell Micheline about this incident.
We're driving back and we come to the traffic lights.
We come to the traffic lights, and I tell her all about the incident. And do you know what she said?
What did you say?
What?
I was in the car with you when it happened, and he went, were you? So you know that vlog we're going to start when we're in our 80s. I think we ought to start it now when we're in our 70s.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God. It's not scary, really, is it?
You just got to laugh it off. Just laugh it off. I'll laugh at when he gets things wrong, and he'll laugh at me when I get my things wrong.
I certainly will.
I'm wearing a fluffy top that I got last year, I think it was. Just a short thing. It's actually over. I've been sat too long. My knee's starting to seize up. It's just over my lovely top that you all liked, with the funny faces all over it. Do you remember this? Where you've got ladies upside down one way and then the right way up the other. This is keeping me warm. Looks like I've got a stain there, I think, so I'm going to have to get it washed again. But I'm in my shed, in my workshop, and I'm busy putting together another little vlog for you. And I'm just doing this little piece here because I made a dress through Sewist, which is a part of Lacala, and I liked it, but it had raglan sleeves. It was very similar to the Vogue dress that I liked, and I can't remember the number, but I'll put it up there if I can remember. And the thing that I liked the style, but I wasn't so keen about the raglan sleeves because I had them like that. So I went back to Sewist and I changed. I made the top different, and I made the sleeves have the proper armholes there. And then I made another dress, and this is the other dress that I made. We are driving around the ring road of Leeds. Lots of greenery in this part.
My old stomping ground.
And it's his old stomping ground. And he keeps saying, "This is where I used to live, and this is where we rode the snowball, a massive snowball down there."
Yeah, that's right. me and my pal John Holderness. In the one winter we were at school. We dumped off school for the morning, and we rolled a big snowball down this hill that we're coming up to.
Oh, is this the hill?
Yeah.
All right, this is the hill.
And we rolled
coming up to. It's over there somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know if
and
you
we
can
left
see.
it Well, it's all traffic.
We're a bit sunshine here.
It's all traffic lights
Why is
now
the
and
sunshine?
stuff, but it wasn't back then. It was just a 2-lane
He's
road.
talking about over there somewhere.
Yeah. Anyway, basically, we got our picture in the newspaper, and because of that, because it was quite a giant snowball we'd rolled, and they thought it was a good idea to put it in the newspaper, and that really dropped us right in it with the school. Yeah, we were
supposed to be at school.
We got into a bit of trouble for that, but it was good fun, and it was a massive snowball. It
Anyway.
was 6 feet tall at least.
6 feet tall, yes. Started at the top of the hill and rolled it, and it ended up being 6 foot tall. You can't do that these days, can you?
No, I haven't got the energy. No, and we don't get the snow anymore.
Yeah, as I was saying, we've taken his mother out for a lunch. She's not too bad, but she says she sleeps a lot. Apparently, she sleeps a lot, which is part of standard for that, for dementia, for the stage that she's at. However, we took her to a pub, what we call a pub meal, Sunday pub lunch.
Yeah.
And she had fish and chips, and she got about a third of the way through, and she said, "I can't manage this." And then what did she do? She nearly ate it all up. And so then, because it took us ages to get the stuff ordered, put your tongue away, going like that. Because it took us ages to get the food ordered, His Lordship decided we weren't going to order a pudding. We'd take her to the ice cream van in the park. So I took her to the ice cream van in the park, and she absolutely loved. She had an ice cream cone
99.
with a big 99 with a chocolate flake in the top, which she loved.
Well, let's be honest. We all had one.
We all had one, yes. I didn't tell you, but half of my ice cream was thrown out the door. It was just too much. I'm not an ice cream fan. He is. And I was thinking, this is going on forever. And then in the end, I just got my cone and shook it out, and then I ate the cone. Anyway, we are now on our way round the ring road of Leeds, and we're going to visit middle son. Middle child, I should say.
Rascal.
Middle child rascal, who you've got to get permission to come and visit him.
That's only so I can back up.
He says, he rang him this morning. He says, can we come and visit? He says, yeah. He says, does that mean I've got to vac the house up and clean it up for you coming? So I think they've been, from us ringing, they've probably been madly trying to tidy up the house for us. No kids, just the two of them, so heaven knows what kind of a state they get it into.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's where we're heading off now. Not long till we get there, is it?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, so we'll catch you later. It's my pussycat. I'll have to clean her eyes. She's not very keen on me cleaning her eyes. Well, we're at the airport because I always love watching planes land and take off. Not that there's that many here, but they have built a sky bar. And His Lordship, who's now down there, we're on my way into the airport. I said, come on, I'll take you for a coffee to the sky bar. So we're going to the sky bar, and planes just come in, so we've missed a bit. But there's lots of planes, RAF planes and things, taking off and landing because we can hear them. So I'll take you with us. What's that?
So let's put a straight down.
Oh, there's a sky bar over there, but can you go up there? Where's this one taking me to? Surely you haven't got to pass the departures to get to the sky bar.
Just like that.
Just like that.
You walk past all the Anticipating holiday makers.
Oops. Oh, they do meals as well. Look at this. I'm liking this. Wow.
Very good. Good. First time.
So that's the Yorkshire moors in the distance. And I think it's coming in. Oh, it's a, is it, what is it, Brian?
Yeah, it's a falcon.
An RAF Falcon.
Well, it's not RAF, it's a French falcon.
French Falcon. So there I am, trying to do some machine cleaning, and I have this little rascal pestering me and wanting to be right beside wherever I am. You're hopeless, aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh, it's gone, that plastic thing, isn't it? It's gone. You don't know where it's gone to. Oh, she says I do. I know where it is. Oh! Right, what I'm doing, if I can get her out of the way, what I'm doing is my machine isn't stitching. When I set the stitch to 3 or 4.5, it's not going to a long stitch. Are you going to leave it alone? Leave those things alone, miss. Where is it? Oh, there. Oh, dear me. There now, it's on the floor. You've knocked it onto the floor. Right? You've knocked it onto the floor, Trouble. Yes, you have. Have I got to go and get it for you now? Yeah. Put that away. You've got to keep everything. It's like having a little baby around. You've got to keep everything out of the way, haven't you? Especially with you. At least the little black one. Izzy never used to be a trouble. She just used to cry all the time. You're always looking for things to do, aren't you? She says, now what can I do now? What can I do now? Oh, no, you can't have that. Oh, dear me. It's a good job I've got a big, strong magnet that keeps everything on there, because otherwise I should have it all. Oh, she's found a light. Right. You've lost your plastic thing. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, my stitches for a few months now, when I set it to 3.5 or to 4 for the straight stitch, it's always a short stitch, and it's not doing the stitches the way I would like. Oh, here she comes again. It's not doing stitches the way I would like to. So I've tried everything and it's not working, and short of going in for service, which I probably will have to do eventually, is... Sorry about this, folks. Oi, out the way, you. So, I think it's the teeth. I think... Oh, God. I think it's the teeth. I think the teeth are getting worn. And so I have ordered... I've ordered... well, I ordered and I have received, and I better not lose these screws and things, a new one of these for this model. And I'm going to fit that and see if it makes any difference, because I think the teeth here are lovely and sharp, so they'll pull the fabric through, but I think they are getting a bit worn, and that's why it's not pulling it through very much. I've already had problems with the thread. You can see there. I've got a replacement plate, actually. I bought a replacement one of these, but I haven't fitted it because initially one of the needles got stuck in there. I'll get my Sorry, folks. She's all over the place. But will you stop it? Come on. Right. One of the needles got stuck here, and it gouged a big chunk out of there, and there, and there, and that can actually cause your thread to snap. So I've got a new one of these metal plates. What I've done there is I've rubbed that down a fraction just to get rid of the sharp ends, and that's made a slight difference. I think that if I change these teeth, that I might have a better, it might pull the fabric through a lot better. I've even got a lace handkerchief in it. That is not my lace handkerchief. This is a second-hand clothes dress that I bought, and it's one of my favourite vintage. And it is a Mandy Marsh dress, but the elastic has gone at the waist. And the reason why I have this is because, let me put this somewhere so I can hold you like that, clean that because it's a bit dirty. The reason why I bought this was because I have a Mandy Marsh dress that I bought 30 odd years ago, brand new. I bought it from Phoenix in Newcastle, and I loved it. And the other week, not the other week, it was, in fact, it was last year, 2021, when lockdown was on. Can't see that. Anyway, 2021, when lockdown was on, I started surfing the internet, and I thought, I went into my wardrobe and I saw this Mandy Marsh dress, and I thought, oh, do you know, I love that dress. It still fits me, but I don't like to bring it out. Well, I've got lots of dresses that I like, and I don't like to bring them out because I think, I don't want to get it worn, and I really should get them out because otherwise they'll sit in that wardrobe till I die. My mother was the same. She used to always buy things, and she loved them so much she never wore them. And you kind of think, well, what's the point? So anyway, I had this Mandy Marsh dress, and I thought, well, the only thing about it is because it's slightly old-fashioned, the bodice is quite long, and it's elasticated at the waist. If I show you here, put you back there. It's elasticated this should have been elasticated. It's not. This is the one that I bought second hand. It's elasticated normally, and the waist goes up there, and this bunches over like that. And the one that I have in my wardrobe is like that. But I don't like it. Obviously, it's not the fashion to have this bunching over. So when I bought this, the lady who was selling it said that the elastic had gone, so that's not a big issue. But what I think I might do is I might shorten this bodice to about there, so it's more higher up, and then that might look a lot better. Now, I liked it because it is very long. I don't know how far back I can go to let you see, but it's down to my feet, and I like long dresses like that. So I'm going to shorten this so that it sits on my waist without having the bunching. And eventually I will do the same with my other Mandy Marsh. And I bought two other Mandy Marsh dresses, which I've got packed up. I haven't used them yet. They're still unpacked, and still not unpacked. Well, I packed them, and then I unpacked them, tried them on, and then put them back in the packet again. Not because I didn't like them, but because they were a darkish colour, which will be nice for the autumn. And I thought, well, there's no point in getting them out yet. Autumn is now here, so I shall get them out, and I think I shall do the same thing. I'll raise the waist up a bit, and I think this is going to look a lovely vintage dress for me, especially when apparently vintage dresses are back in fashion. So watch this space and see what it looks like. So this is the dress with the shortened piece on it. I actually like this. I think it's much nicer. It actually tapers down a little bit, even though it's not meant to. I cut it straight across, but it does kind of taper down, which I don't mind. It looks rather nice. I am wearing my trousers underneath because I can't be bothered to take them off. But having said that, it's got pockets. It's lovely. It's turned out really, really nice. And I was thinking about selling it on, but I think I might get a little bit of wear out of it first before I pass it on. It's very similar to the Lyra dress, the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. I think I made one, a lyra dress, but I didn't do the tiers that are on it. I just did a straight down one. And I loved the thing I liked about the lyra dress, it's like a shirt on the top. And I liked that idea. It's rather nice for the winter. So I shall be wearing this. I'll be keeping it for the moment and wearing it and seeing what his lordship thinks about it.